The main department of the State Emergency Service of Ukraine in Donetsk region reported that on July the 9th, the Russian military launched a missile attack on Chasiv Yar. As a result, 2 5-story buildings were destroyed. The search and rescue operation is still ongoing. 2 loaders, 2 mobile cranes are working. There are enough forces to carry out these works. So far, several bodies have been recovered. According to preliminary information, the strike was inflicted by 4 missiles of the Uragan type. The specialists are still working. Medical and psychological assistance is provided to all the wounded. As of 11 a.m. on July the 11th, 20 people were reported dead and 8 others had been rescued. Another 18 people may be under the rubble, including a 9-year-old boy. We were in the hall. After the first strike, our mosquito net flew out. We quickly hid in the bathroom. Then there was silence. Everything calmed down. I said, "Valery, where did it hit?" And we just went out to look out the window. There was a second strike and we hid here. Look, I'm covered in blood. Nadia's husband received shrapnel wounds to his leg after the second strike, the woman says. I pressed it, tied it up with a handkerchief. We somehow made it to the basement. There was a trail of blood following him, and the third bang happened. We fell on the brick, be as it may. Just since February the 24th, more than 500 civilians have been killed by Russian shells in Donetsk region, reports Pavlo Kyrylenko, the head of Donetsk Regional Military Administration. Everyone who gives orders for such strikes, everyone who carries them out targeting our ordinary cities, residential areas, kills absolutely deliberately. After such strikes, the killers will not be able to say they did not know something or did not understand something. In the Donetsk region during the day on July the 10th, the Russian military shelled peaceful settlements in the region. The Bakhmut community suffered the most destruction. This was announced by Pavlo Kyrylenko, the head of the Donetsk Regional Military Administration. The hottest place is in Bakhmut district. In New York, a shop and a house were damaged by a rocket attack. No casualties. Soledar was shelled twice, at night and in the evening. The cultural center and the administrative building burned down. A 5-story building was damaged and 3 people were injured, Pavlo Kyrylenko reported. Serhiy Haidai, the head of Luhansk Regional Military Administration, reported that on the night of July the 10th and 11th, Russian troops launched 5 missile strikes on populated areas on the administrative border of Donetsk and Luhansk regions. They also fired artillery. They are using aviation, barrel and rocket artillery, trying to break through from Lysychansk and other directions to Siversk and Slovyansk. But for more than a week, these attempts have been unsuccessful. They are trying to advance from the side of Popasna, he said. According to his information, the Russians are suffering losses. They engage those mobilized from the occupied Rubizhne and Severodonetsk. A 6-story residential building in the central part of Kharkiv was partially destroyed as a result of a Russian missile hit in the morning of July the 11th. As reported by the Regional State Emergency Service, as of 4:30 a.m., rescuers saved 1 elderly woman, and the removal of the debris is ongoing. According to the State Emergency Service, there was no information about dead or injured residents of the building. In the 6-story building, 1 entrance was destroyed, particularly apartments from the 6th to the 1st floor. An 86-year-old woman, a resident of an apartment on the 2nd floor, was rescued from the rubble by the State Emergency Service. Fortunately, there were no victims or injured. Emergency and rescue operations are currently being carried out at the scene, the report says. I live on the 2nd floor. I was covered in dust. I got up, went to the bathroom to wash off what I was covered with. I didn't even understand what the matter was. I was knocked down in the bathroom. I have a plastic ceiling. I threw plastic from the bathroom and shouted, "I'm alive!" And that's when they entered, broke down the door and pulled me out. I was born under a lucky star. In total, the Russian army fired 3 rockets in the morning on the territory of Kharkiv. In addition to hitting a residential building, rockets also hit a school in the Slobitsky district and next to a warehouse in the Osnovyansky district. According to preliminary data, 3 people were killed and 31 injured in repeated Russian strikes on Kharkiv in the morning of July the 11th. This was announced by Oleg Senegubov, the head of the Kharkiv Regional Military Administration. According to him, 3 people died. At this moment, 31 people have been injured in the morning shelling of Kharkiv by the Russian occupiers. All of them are hospitalized in medical institutions. 2 of them are children, 4 and 16 years old. The deputy head of the office of the President of Ukraine, Kyrylo Tymoshenko, said that according to preliminary data, the Russian army hit the city with Smerch rocket launchers around 10:20 a.m. 10 rockets were detected. Residential quarters came under fire, Tymoshenko said. According to Kharkiv Region Police Chief Volodymyr Tymushko, one policeman is among the wounded. The shelling was carried out randomly, scattered over a large area, which indicates the goal, that is to destroy as much of the civilian population as possible, Tymushko said. In the morning of July the 11th, the Russian army shelled the village of Zolochiv in the Kharkiv region with artillery. As a result of the shelling, 13 houses and farm buildings were damaged. Viktor Kovalenko, Zolochiv village head, said. There is preliminary information about 2 dead people, but it cannot be verified due to constant shelling. Occupiers, I have a question for you. We have been growing this product since February, and now it turns out no one needs it? The occupation authorities are unable to effectively integrate the economy of the Kherson region into the Russian market. This was the conclusion reached by the experts of the American Institute for the Study of War after analyzing the reports of the Russian media and the Ukrainian Center for Strategic Communications and Information Security. Residents of the occupied Kherson region are suffering huge losses due to the Russians' gross interference in the agriculture sector, says agrarian and deputy of the regional council Igor Yosipenko. If we raise the question that even under the conditions dictated by the Russian authorities, we, farmers, will be able to export to Crimea and sell in Crimea, there are simply no grain trucks to deliver to Crimea. If you have no fuel, you will not be able to sell the crop. If you do not sell the crop, you will not have money for fuel. This is a stalemate, says Igor Yosipenko. Under such conditions, vegetables and fruits simply spoil. I have, for example, a completely unharvested cherry orchard. There were no buyers. Everything we could take to the bazaars, we took. We fed everyone we could. That's it. More than 90% of the cherries simply remained in the orchard. The main problem is the lack of a sales market, says farmer Viktor Sherbina. Kherson region can consume only 2-3% of the grown products. I know that there is a route to Ukraine through Zaporizhia, but it was forbidden to export vegetables there. The Russians are threatened to face the tribunal if Ukraine is fed. In Kopane, there are no prices at all, only corn is available. And the corn, as I understand it, is taken by Crimea. Other vegetable products are not in demand, the farmer says, and there is nowhere to sell them. Russia's hopes for the integration of the Kherson region are shattered by economic reality, says economist Volodymyr Molchanov. Russia, on the one hand, is interested not only in direct robbery, that is, in extracting goods at the lowest possible prices, but also in ensuring that they have such an opportunity for the next year. Local collaborators are actually robbing farmers, taking products for nothing and reselling them in Crimea, says Volodymyr Molchanov. At the same time, farmers do not have funds for the purchase of seeds, fuel, further work, etc. Therefore, Russian plans for integration seems to be a one-time thing. That is, integration will consist of a one-time robbery. The Economist says that the production at stolen and looted enterprises will be impossible without significant financial infusions, and Russia is not ready to make them.